In one of my recent time lapses, which, let's be honest, nobody really watched, I used a modular pack I made to build out a cityscape. I only made 2 buildings and just copy-pasted them around because, well, I was too lazy to make more. But what if I could be lazy and productive at the same time? In this video, I'm putting that to the test with Buildify. If you haven't heard of it, Buildify is a free Blender add-on that lets you spawn buildings almost effortlessly. And if you're like me and never used it before,
Stay a while and listen.
alright, this is the scene you're greeted with when you open the .blend file. You've got a viewport view, a geometry nodes tab, and this extra tab that I'm not really sure what it's for. Let's just go ahead and close that. Let's take a look at the geometry nodes setup. Right now, I have no idea what's going on here. I haven't really used geometry nodes much myself, so this is a little intimidating. But that actually makes it a perfect test. Let's see how easy it is to get started and how quickly you can learn the basics. Alright, let me hide the geometry nodes for now and take a look around the viewport. Looks like this is an example building, and honestly, it looks great at first glance. When I select it, you can see the outlines of all the individual parts. Structurally, it seems like the tool does the job well. There are some odd placement issues though, like this sign placed right across the window. I'm guessing the positioning of details like these is randomized. Let's see how easy it is to create something with this. I'll select the building, tab into edit mode, and press Alt+Z to turn on X-ray view. The only thing I can see are these faces on the floor, so it looks like the whole building is generated from a floor plan. Let's try moving some things around to see how it behaves. Well, this is actually going great. It feels seamless and fluid. I'm impressed by how well it handles the angles. Okay, let's try moving some vertices up or down. It looks like it doesn't like working with slopes or angled surfaces. What about duplicating and separating faces from the floor plan? That seems to work just fine. Oh, and it even gives each new face a random height, which is a nice touch. But it doesn't seem to support different floor heights. As soon as you raise the floor, any overlapping pieces break. The geometry node modifier does have a few options though. You can set the minimum and maximum number of floors for the building. That's nice. I've been testing the limits of the modifier to see what it can handle, and honestly, it's surprisingly resilient, even when you push it in ways it probably wasn't intended to be used. Alright, let me move the building out of the way and we'll take a closer look at the individual pieces that come with the tool. They seem to follow a classic modular workflow. Each piece has its origin point placed at the center of the geometry. I'm guessing these origin points are used to determine where each part spawns when the building is generated. The height and width of the structural pieces also match the dimensions set in the modifier, which means the geometry node's setup needs to know exactly what dimensions it's working with. I really appreciate that the creator of this tool took the time to write clear documentation. It's full of useful details about how the geometry node setup works and what each node group does. It also offers guidance on customizing the system or solving creative challenges. I gave it a read, and it was a genuinely valuable resource. Alright, time to try building something with Buildify. I'll start by importing an asset pack I made a while ago. Now, this pack wasn't created with Buildify's requirements in mind, so let's see what needs to be changed to make it work properly. First off, the origin points on my assets are placed at the start of each mesh, while Buildify expects them to be centered. So I'll go ahead and fix that real quick. By default, Buildify modules are sized at 3 by 3 meters, but the ones I'm using are different. They're 3 meters tall, but only 2 meters wide. To make them work with the geometry node setup, I'll need to change the module size setting in the modifier accordingly. Changing the module size will break the current building that uses the default pieces. But that's fine. We're about to replace them anyway. Buildify organizes assets using a nested collection system, which makes swapping modules super fast. I'll delete the default pieces and drop my own into the correct collection. And just like that, the entire building updates in a second. When I started replacing the bottom floor modules, I hit my first roadblock. The base parts I designed are a different size from the rest, which makes them incompatible with the dimensions set in the Buildify modifier. I checked the documentation to see if it's possible to assign different dimensions just for the ground floor node group, but right now, that feature isn't supported. All modules need to follow the same size rules. To work around this, I duplicated the building and the geometry node setup. One version handles everything from the first floor up, and the other handles just the ground floor. For the ground floor version, I cleaned it up by deleting all the unnecessary node groups I didn't need. I originally designed my pack with modularity in mind, so each piece can be swapped out freely. But with Buildify, that level of flexibility isn't really needed. So I'm merging everything that belongs together into single modules. Doors with door frames, windows with their surroundings, and so on. I've moved the storefront pieces into the ground floor collection. One thing I'm starting to notice is that it's hard to make the building look intentionally designed. The default setup places modules randomly, which can lead to results that feel a bit messy. I'm sure there's a way to customize this inside the geometry node setup, but for this test, I wanted to stick with the out-of-the-box workflow. Because of that, I decided to try designing complete modules myself and use those for the building layout. But I wasn't quite happy with the results at this point, so I paused and moved on to working on the top floors instead. For the top floors, I tried creating a few different pieces to break up the repetition in the design. But again, the result wasn't quite what I was hoping for. From what I can tell, the middle section of the geometry node setup works kind of like an array modifier. It picks a starting module at the first floor and repeats it upward to the top. That's great if you're going for something realistic or modern, but what if you want something more rustic or stylized? I didn't want to dive into editing the geometry node network just yet, so I left the modules as they were and decided I'd come back and do more custom work after the base building was finished. After I finished replacing all the default pieces with my own and made a few minor tweaks, I figured it was time to see what this tool can really do when everything is set up. I played around with the seed values in each node group, adjusted the sliders for the amount of detail, and eventually landed on a ground floor variation that looked pretty solid. Alright, this is the building I ended up with after playing around with the generator. One thing I skipped earlier in the video is that I had to abandon the idea of splitting the building into two, one for the ground floor and one for the top. It turned out to be a bit destructive. Every time I wanted to adjust the shape, I had to do it twice, once for each part. And that kind of defeated the purpose of using a procedural tool like this. So instead, I kept the top part and reconnected the ground floor to the same geometry node setup. To make sure everything fit together, I scaled the top pieces to match the bottom ones. That did mess up some of my original module dimensions, but honestly, it wasn't a big deal. I added details to the building manually to break up the uniformity from the generator. Once I was happy with the design and sure I wouldn't make more changes, I added a single node at the end of the geometry node setup, the Realize Instances node. This lets you apply the modifier and bake the whole setup into a single object with all the parts merged. The reason I did that is because the wall modules use a Vertex paint layer setup. With that, I can control where I want moss to appear or where I want to vary the brick texture using Vertex colors. That gave me a great way to break the repetition and add some extra texture variation to the final model. To wrap things up, I think Buildify is a fantastic tool, especially considering it's completely free. It's perfect for quickly assembling buildings and generating multiple variations with just a few clicks. While it does have some limitations, none of them really get in the way of making something cool. If you want to see Buildify in action, make sure to subscribe, because in the next video I'll show you how I use this generator to create a sci-fi building, and eventually, a full futuristic city render. I'll also be sharing the project files from that video for free. And if you're interested in the urban building pack I used here, you can grab it on our Gumroad page. The link's down in the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!